look for those opportunities to be completely with them, and that quality over quantity, and how to make it special in the everyday.
All right, let's do this. Hi, guys. I want to introduce you to Julie, and this for everyone watching, zero script. I'm just going with it. Julie, I do want to say this. You were more of a mystery than some of our moms because your first post came at the end of your 16 weeks. And I hear snippets. I always get the overview, but then I also get the inner circle. So I have more of an idea. You were like more of the mystery of what was going on. So I'm more excited, I think, than anybody to hear from your own words, because you were just like steady Eddie doing your things. And then all of a sudden in week 16, you popped up in the inner circle and everyone was just like, holy crap, this is incredible. So I want to introduce you to our community. If you can just give a quick snapshot of who you are, that would be awesome.
Yeah, nope, you got it. I am somebody, I guess I work in the internet in the technology space. So I guess maybe I'm around it all day. And so I kind of took my journey inside internally. But yeah, so I'm a mom of 3 kids. Well, I say 3, 2.5. My nephew lives with me. He's 16. And then my kids are 2 girls, 4 and 8. So we kind of run the gamut. Got to be an Insta-teen mom there last year. And then, I work in technology. I work in a pretty male-dominated space and I travel a lot. So that was a big challenge for me coming in here.
Boom. And something that so many people can relate to. We hear all the time, like, you know what, when things slow down, I was like, I don't know. Like, when's the perfect time, right?
Sure.
All right. Give everybody an idea. Where were you? What made you want to reach out? Where were you? How were you feeling before you jumped into the inner circle?
Yeah. So I was really excited. I got a big promotion at my job. And this was one that I had worked for 12 years, right, to get to this spot. And here I was, but I had to move across the country and I had to bring my family and we had to move, which was nowhere near in the plans. And when I looked at it, I thought, wow, I'm really jumping to a different level in my career and I'm about to face this really big change. There are some other things in my life that I really want to do better, and just in general. And when I looked at it, I thought, well, I'm going to be more in the spotlight. I need to make sure that I'm going to have to travel a ton. I want to be, first and foremost, the best wife and the best mom I could possibly be. And I was looking at my schedule thinking, I don't even feel like I do that well now. How in the world am I going to do it in this new environment and move and figure all this out? So yeah, and I, just like most people, I kind of was strolling for a while, checking it out before I decided, okay, yes, I'll talk to him. Yes, I'll figure it out. And yeah, so that's where I was. And then when we kind of got going, I know it was big for me to say, these are the things that I'm trying to get out of this. And this is what I want, which I thought was a really great question. And I almost felt like it was impossible, but it's not, which is skip to the end, which is exciting. But I also was very clear that I said, it cannot be another thing on my plate. It just, that was key for me. I was redlining. There was no way. But yeah, skip to the end of the story. It was not another thing on my plate. It was
your plate was overflowing.
It was a little bit full. Like it was a lot full. Like, the stuff's falling off to the side. That's kind of where I was when.
Yeah, I'm picturing the person spinning a bajillion plates and you're trying to keep them all up in the air.
That was very much it. And then like, oh hey, move from Atlanta to Dallas. Put that on top. Yeah, it was awesome.
So, and I knew this part of your journey. I love talking to you guys because I get to hear more of the details. But so again, just like when people say, I'm going to wait for the right time to have kids, like it wasn't like you were looking at your schedule going, well, I'm pretty wide open here. I think I'm just going to throw myself in there and do a little something for myself, which is something we hear very often is just timing. And at the end of the day, we do tell moms, and I'm so glad, when we find moms and they're picking up what we're putting down, listen, we're here to help. So how can we simplify this for you? How can we make this work for you? Because at the end of the day, when we do have a lot on our plate, and I won't say when we are in some struggles in whatever area, that's usually the time where we say, oh, I'll wait till I get it together and then I'll start something. And it's like, no, that's actually what we're here for. That's what we want to help you do. So I'm glad that was being picked up.
Oh yeah. I think I even said it. I was like, this is either going to be the absolute worst time in my life to do this or the absolute best time. And it all depends on the program and how I work through it. But it was going to be one or the other. There was not going to be a middle lane at where I was at. There's no way.
So give us an idea of where you are today. Some of your biggest, I don't know, you can either say aha moments or moments that you're proud of. And again, one thing I do want to highlight, because you said this, you don't even think things are possible. And that's the one thing we have a really hard time explaining to moms that there's so much more out there when we can barely see just in front of our face. And usually people will go through, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many months, and then go, oh, I didn't even know what I was looking for because I didn't even know what was out there. And you said that you were like, I thought, where you are, it's hard to reach. Anyways, I'm not doing a great job with my words right now, but if you could just chat on where you are, how you're feeling, things that were aha moments or wins for you that you were like, holy crap, I didn't even know this was possible. Just to let moms know, I like to break the glass ceiling, right? I like to show moms what is possible so that they can go, oh, well, if Julie can do it, then maybe I can do it too. So that's where my question's coming from.
You and I are in the same space. That's my favorite is, yeah, you can be a mom. Yeah, you can be, whatever you want to be. But yeah, so where I am today, and probably, I guess, my biggest ahas throughout this journey, I'm so much more present with my kids, and my husband. And it's like, I look for those opportunities to be completely with them, and that quality over quantity, and how to make it special in the everyday, in the normal, right? I didn't have to go and make some, huge event out of it. It could just be, and recognizing those moments. I think that for me is the most special part that I have grown into, and the most impactful, as again, I kind of took on this new journey. I had to be better than I was. And I was looking down the barrel of how in the world am I going to do that by adding so much more pressure to my life. But the other fun things are I lost 20 pounds. So that was great. I mean, like, who doesn't love that? And then the other thing that I put out when I said that it was impossible, right? I knew I could work on my mindset. I knew I could get better with my family. I knew I could manage my time better, even though I just live and die by a calendar. Now I do it a whole new way, which is even better. It was about my nutrition. So I've had some chronic health issues that really just don't jive with most nutrition plans, right? And I was about to travel a ton. And I just thought, I had this weird thing about how if you really were good at nutrition, then you were boring. And it took me a minute to understand that that's actually what I thought. So I had to work a little bit to get there. And then I was like, that's crazy. And we worked through it. And that was one of my things I thought that would be impossible, is for me to love to eat healthy. And now I enjoy eating healthy, which if you had asked me I would have said there's no way. It doesn't mean I don't love a pumpkin spice latte, but I actually enjoy the other healthy things that get me there. Yeah, so I think that was a huge win for me.
Dude, it's incredible. It well, I have so many things to say, but one of my favorite things ever is when we get to hear all the cool things like being present with your family. We can't quantify things like that. But then moms will throw in, oh, by the way, and I lost 20 pounds. And I just get so excited because it's usually the second, third, it's not even like the thing, right? It's, oh, and by the way, this is a great benefit. I just don't know very many places that we care more about your presence and your mind and your calm and your all the things that, again, at the end of the day, actually make a better choice in all of those areas. So it actually, anyways, I love when I hear that. You're like,
no, you're right. I mean, that's where you start. Like you start with like, okay, I'm here, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get my life together. And then yes, all that happens, but the things that you learn along the way about yourself and what you're capable of. And it's almost, to me, reminding you as a mom what you're actually capable of for yourself so that you can be that for your family is what ends up leading you to, oh, by the way, I lost this weight.
Yep.
So cool.
It's so cool. It's funny about reminders. I think reminders are the best. I actually have a list of kids I'm supposed to pick up. Literally, I'm like, if it's my carpool duty, I have like a list. So I double check, and people are always like, well, I shouldn't need reminders to be a, present mom. I shouldn't be reminders. I'm like, I need reminders for everything because it makes my life a heck of a lot easier. And the chances of it happening are pretty darn good, right? Like it's worse when you're driving away going, I have 6 kids in the car. Was I supposed to have 7? Yes, reminders are good. And I've said this a million times. There's no new news out. Like, the science has been out there. We know the things that create healthy habits. We know what we're supposed to do. It's how can we organize it to work for our life? Because you're different. I wonder, do you talk to Missy at all? Do you ever check her posts?
I'm sure I have.
She travels a ton, and she's been with us coming up a year now. And she travels a ton. So you remind me of her a lot, even with the way you're speaking, which is a big compliment, by the way. Yes. But anyways, I just think it's absolutely incredible that we can organize it to work for our life, and make things that we didn't think we could that we know are good for us, enjoy them enough to do them and then create great results. Right.
Absolutely. Well, and then be surrounded by all these awesome people. Like, I think that's the other thing too, that really drove me across the finish line was like, wow, everybody that's in this group has the same drive, has the same goals, and they want to live life to the fullest, like I do. And, if you're like, again, like me, where I go 16 weeks before I actually post anything. That doesn't mean that I'm not watching everything and completely encouraged by the stories that everybody is telling that got me to finally post something, and come out of the backstage into
the shadows, the dark horse. The dark horse, totally coming up from the rear, just no one knows she's there. And all of a sudden you're just like, boom, by the way, I'm done my initial program. I'm going, but this is where I'm at. And everyone is just like,
hey, who's this lady? What?
So good. Yeah. Okay. I know you're at work. So one last question and then we'll wrap it up. But we have a lot of moms that are curious about if we can help them or not. And if, we're on the internet, that's just a fact, and not everything on, you can't believe everything on the internet. So if someone was on the fence, what would you say to someone on the fence?
I would say that the program is real, very much real. It's real people, and we're all going through real stuff every day, like getting our kids hairbrushed and trying to figure out the work schedule and the meal planning and everything that we're trying to do. It's an incredible group. And if you've got it in yourself where you want to make a change, whatever that is, and you're trying to find how to get there, this is a great place to start. And you just got to kind of trust the path. and just do it, and be very, very open to where the path leads you. Like finding out that you think that people who eat healthy are boring. I never would have thought that coming in, that was actually what I thought, but I'm glad I don't think that anymore.
Oh, it's so good. Thank you for sharing. Stay on for a sec. I'm going to stop. Thank you for sharing, everyone. I love when I do these because I'm like, I know everyone's going to watch them at all different times, but I'm like, everybody watching, drop diamonds. I'm so used to doing them. But if you are watching, please drop some diamonds for Julie. Thank you for sharing your story. And also thanks for letting moms know that in the midst of change of life, moving, new job, that it still is possible and actually probably beneficial to be able to show up in all those changes in a way that you're confident. At the end of the day, it's about confidence, right? I mean, I think it is, because that will help you make better decisions everywhere. So
Yeah, kept my sanity. Fantastic.
boom. Hashtag mic drop.